Welcome once again to another series with Execration in it. It is Execration versus Burster in this 2-game set. It is Join the League Season number 5, the Asian Division 2, as it has been for quite some time now. We are ending the end of the group stage here, so soon enough we're gonna have the playoffs. I do believe they're scheduled to start in possibly about 2 weeks from now. I think next week we'll be there for the tiebreakers, and after that the playoffs should start. Whether it be just the playoffs for Division 1, or of course just the playoffs for the Division 1 and 2 spots, who gets into Division 1 for the next season. But here we are already looking at the draft. Thrower Warlord has been banned out by Burster. Execration, they at least yesterday, or not yesterday, I mean earlier on today, went up against Garuda Infinity. They did end up the series with a score of 1-1. So they weren't looking as great. I mean, they were still solid enough. Garuda Infinity definitely not a pushover team. And Garuda also just now having received a 2-0 default win against Erudite. Now it means that both teams are 10-4. Only 2 more games to play, or 2 more sets to play for both teams. So Execration, it is rather important for them to be able to win this one 2-0. Because any loss may mean that Garuda Infinity is gonna snatch that second place away from them. Not only that, of course, there is still, I do believe, First Departure. Yes, First Departure still has 4 games to play with a score of 8-2 at the moment, so only 2 losses. So, First Departure looking good so far. Of course, Team Ice already sitting on 13-1, so unless they really screw up big time, they should be able to almost guaranteed snatch themselves a position in the first 2, as in getting into the Division 1 and 2 playoffs. But after some consideration, we do see that Storm Spirit ban, plus of course Burster's secondary ban from them is the Juggernaut. So Execration, is it like an Axe, Vengeful, possibly a Lion? Even a Shadowfin could be a viable ban in all fairness. But Burster, they have to whip out something maybe a little bit unusual to kind of catch Execration by surprise. So far Burster, they are 6-8, so definitely not the best run, but a couple of wins for them may mean that they do not have to play the Division 2 and 3 playoffs, that they can normally stay in Division 2 without having to just work overtime for it. But Execration do ban out the Brewmaster instead. Brewmaster is just so often banned that it's kind of rare to see that hero, or sometimes even when it isn't banned, all of a sudden people just don't pick it up because most people are just used to running slightly different drafts these days. But Vengeful will be the first pick from Burster, which means that Execration, if they would like to go for their own Batrider, which they definitely do like in general, it would be a little bit less useful because Vengeful Spirit is a direct counter to that last, so just swap it out. But Execration do start with an Axe and Lion. I do believe it's the same start they had against Garuda earlier today in their secondary game. Did lose that one, but Axe definitely got quite a lot accomplished. They also went for an Earthshaker as the 3rd pick, I think it was. So could quite easily be the pick for Execration. If not, I'd definitely like, let's say, a Scarf Mage for them. It's nice to have the Tension Seal boost up Lion's just Finger of Death. Easy Mystic Flares onto, well, Lion's Hexed or Earth Spike targets. And of course, also Berserker's Call into Mystic Flare is quite an easy kill. And with that, even if Vengeful Spirit swaps somebody out, it's like you swap yourself into a Mystic Flare and probably will die straight out. So there's also that to consider. But Burster, they already have minus armor from the Vengeful. If they want to go for more, a Shadowfin could be the pick for them. Shadowfin, of course, maybe not the easiest hero to keep safe in the mid lane, but it shouldn't be all that hard either at the same time. It really does depend a little bit on what Execration will go for later on, but for now, there's gonna be a Clockwork. Maybe kind of a preemptive pick, maybe somewhat expecting a Sniper to come out from Execration. Sniper in general at the moment is one of the more popular heroes. That range of course is ridiculous, not only on that auto attack when you have the take aim maxed out, also just the shrapnel range where you can cast it from is maybe, I would say, even too long. Because you're like in the Roche pit. If you're the dire side, you want to do Roshan, you can shrapnel past the stairs leading into the Radiant Jungle from the Roche pit, or from the edge of Roche pit at least. It's just I'd say too long for the most part, but then again, Sniper, once you actually get close to that hero, doesn't really have too much to do all of a sudden. But Sniper will be banned out by Execration themselves, so they show no interest in picking up that hero, whereas Burster first removing a gen of all heroes, and if you already ban out the gen, are you also gonna take the precautions to remove the Enchantress? Last time I saw an Enchantress, it was a mid lane Enchantress, and I think it won the game as well. I'm not entirely sure. I've seen 2 mid Enchantresses within the last month or so. One was Miracle though, and they won for sure, that I know of. But now a Shadow Fiend is removed by Burster, maybe as a direct answer to a Sniper being banned, because Sniper is considered to be a counter to the Shadow Fiend. So no Shadow Fiend will be there for us, unfortunately. That still leaves... actually, never mind. Troll is banned out. Now the Silencer removed, so Execration may want to go for that Faceless Void, which they also used for Jules. Was a safe lane Faceless Void against Garuda Infinity, second game. Of course, now they can just pick up a support. I still support the idea of a Skyrim Mage, especially should they really want to go for a Faceless Void, just easy setup. Chronosphere into Mystic Flare. Of course, Witch Doctor won't be that bad either. Also can punish the Clockwork just coming into the cogs, or in with the cogs, you just death ward him up. Clockwork, yes, he can destroy his own cog and run away rather fast, but even that little bit of a delay may be the end of him. But Execration, gonna go and play it safe, picking up a Medusa. So that means a Burster, if they really want to, an anti-mage could come out for them. Maybe a Nyx Assassin even as the secondary support. They have a magic missile to set up that impale at least for now. Of course, you cannot always rely on Vengeful Spirit to set it up for you, just because you are the one looking for ganks with Vendetta. But Burster, whoa, going for an Invoker instead. I haven't seen Burster for a little bit, and since I've been casting just so many different teams, I'm not too sure if Burster have been running the Invoker before, but I'd like to say they have. And of course, having an Invoker go for the Quas Vex build, have the EMP ready for Medusa, definitely can be strong, unless just somehow completely shut down, or maybe doesn't get the required farm to get, let's say, a fast Orchid. And from that point onwards, it might be just Invoker unable to do anything. Of course, it will heavily depend on as well how fast, for example, the Axe gets his own Blink Dagger. But Execration now, they need another support. Could they be considering an Omni Knight, for example? Just get the magic immunity and the Medusa. I mean, Hookshot can still damage you. Most of Invoker spells though wouldn't do anything at all to you. The heal bomb with the axe wouldn't be maybe too horrible. I mean, Omni Knight definitely not a standard hero to go for, but the Repel might work wonders here up against Invoker. But Skyrim Mage for now is gonna be the pick instead. So they will go for that one, and with this, I think it's a little bit more likely that we might see the Faceless Void coming out as the 5th pick. Having Axe off lane, Faceless Void farm up safe lane with Skyrim Lion supporting, of course, roaming around a little bit. And then even Medusa mid lane against Invoker. If not though, they could still quite easily go for a Puck, for example. Jules definitely plays a mean Puck if they let him handle that. Of course, Primo, definitely not a bad mid lane player on most any hero either. Queen of Bane is still in the pool if Execration would like to pick that one up. If you want to go really weird, really just out of the ordinary, pick up, let's say, a Lone Druid. Doesn't care that much about EMP at all, so that would be nice. But Burster, oh, I think, I'm almost positive that this was a random here. I can't say for sure. Do we have a disconnect or something? No, no disconnects. Because I'm pretty sure they ran out of reserve time and they didn't pick it at the 0 seconds. It was like, it hit 0 and then 1 second after the Husker appeared. So this might be a random Husker, but it's not even the worst Husker game in all fairness. Stone Gaze can trip you up, that's for sure, but there's Mystic Flare, there's Finger of Death. There is a reasonable amount of magic damage. Medusa, unless you just get the Stone Gaze on somebody, it's going to be magical damage for the Mystic Snake as well. Otherwise, if they're Stone Gazed, you do get that Mystic Snake to do pure damage. But Enigma will be the last ban, and Husker. I've been waiting for a Husker for so long. Of course, the circumstances that... I would like to know, I would like to ask them, but I can only do so if I remember that in the second game's lobby. It's because speaking in chat for casters is considered to be rude and completely unnecessary, which I do agree with for the most part. But Huskar, have to say, I can not be not pumped up, if that makes sense. Double denial, but it's easier for me to say that I'm pumped up about the Huskar here. But Execration now, some kind of physical damage or massive amount of stuns is what you want to deal with Huskar. Phantom Assassin isn't too bad, but their lanes, well, Phantom Assassin safe lane wouldn't even be that bad. Slark could do quite well just because you activate Shadow Dance and Huskar can't really flame arrow you down. Or is it flame arrows? Searing arrow? Searing arrows is clinks. It's probably even called something else than flame arrows as well. Burning spear, yes. Burning spear. I thought it sounds a little bit wrong. So spear hurts a hell of a lot more than an arrow does, people. So burning spears is one notch above flame arrows. Execration now, they do have 29 seconds left in the reserve time. Theoretically should be plenty for them to just be able to make their decision here. I mean, Axe is already decent enough because usually Huskar like drops pretty low and then stays on that low health and kills everybody. But Axe might be the one to just dunk Huskar down from that point. But Execration do go for the Slark. And feeling pretty nice. Called it. Called it. Burster now though, 24 seconds remaining. Are we gonna see another random for them? And if we are, is it gonna even like remotely fit their lineup, or is it gonna be even somewhat good for them? Huskar, to be honest, maybe going for like a lifesteal build or armlet Helm of the Dominator, for example, may not be too bad because you're resilient to magic damage as it is from that Berserker's Blood. And then you're just gonna have the armor to deal with the physical damage as well. But at the moment, Disruptor will be the pick for Burster there. So, Glimpse, gonna be decent-ish in dealing with the Axe or the Slark, for example. Kinetic Field is always a good ability, just keeping people in place for that EMP, for example, from the Invoker. So, it's a decent-ish combination, but if this goes like a little bit late into the game, then suddenly Medusa, Slark, even a Lion is gonna be just massive even in the late game. Blink Hex is always gonna be relevant. Depending on the item choices, just Aghanim's Finger of Death can also do a hell of a lot. But we do have a pause, it's from Execration's side. Nobody has said anything, so... Oh, 2 disconnects. Standard stuff. At least they paused before that. 2 minutes. Maybe they're restarting Dota. Probably not their computers, or if they're restarting their PCs, it's gonna guaranteed take longer than 2 minutes. That's like for certain. But I'm gonna take a sip of water and then introduce the lineups. I'm gonna have to get myself like a special thing to drink from with a straw, so I don't have to just get the top of the bottle every time. But to go over the lineups now, Fox will be handling the Lion, leaving Jules on the Medusa, Primo to be the Slark, Chemo is on the Skyriff Mage, and last is going to be Yaj, Doto, JJ playing the Axe. As for Burster, we're gonna have VR Cat on the Vengeful Spirit. When and until when is gonna be the Invoker, we're leaving Lun to play the Clockwork, Ion on the Disruptor, and last but not least, Ian playing that Huskar. Wow, what just happened? I totally did not click, at least I suppose I somehow clicked on it. Excuse me if my what was a little bit too high in pitch, but Huskar, well, he's definitely a manly hero. Nobody can deny that one. And it's like, with the way he's holding his weapons, is he left or right-handed? Because I would think he's left-handed because the spear must be a lot harder to manage to like throw than messing around with your blade. Then again, you may rely on blocking just other people with your right hand, so if it's not skilled enough, you just might get wrecked. But he's holding it ghetto style, like a real baller. Disruptor though, it's To be honest, this hero in Dota 1 was Thrall, who was like the master of elements. But this one, he's a cheap copy. Although I like the hero, I definitely like the hero, but having like a Tesla pack on your back and like a Tesla road, it's just feels like a cheap ripoff somehow. Ugh. Don't want to even watch it. If I look at it like this and don't zoom in or anything, don't showcase him, it's fine. This Vengeful Spirit though, she has... well, she's flamboyant. Lots of bling. Well, it's maybe not as shiny, but... lots of pieces on her gear that she doesn't really even need at all. Like, at all. The less you have, probably the more mobile you are, and I don't think that those extra pieces of armor or whatever you want to call them really defend her in the fight. It didn't feel all too sturdy or, well, all too covering for her. As for the range of, well, this is armor. This is what armor should look like, I mean. Well, a spear definitely pierces it. Maybe an arrow wouldn't, but Huskar should be fine against Skyriff Mage. But it's just a combination. The thing is, of course, as well, you should be a little bit wary of if people do get petrified, do not Finger of Death or Mystic Flare at the same targets. Just because if you are petrified up by the Medusa, you do take 0 damage. You have 0% magic resistance. I've seen people like waste Echo Slams into petrified people, for example. But Execration now, they are ready. Pause lasted a little bit longer than 2 minutes, but doesn't matter because it wasn't all that long. All is fine if they can just play it out now. But Jules is heading towards the mid lane on the Medusa, leaving Axe for the off lane and just defensive Slark tri lane. Can't say it wasn't to be expected. As for Burster, are they gonna just go for a 5-man rotation early on? Maybe try to get an early first blood, get the early advantage, and then go for the normal lanes, leave Clockwork off lane? I suppose they could leave like a Disruptor or Vengeful Spirit with the clock, but I don't think it's all that required. Unless they wanna leave behind a Huskar aggro try. Disruptor not the best aggro hero, but it may just work out. Although I still think it's gonna be just standard lanes from Burster as well. They are running around at the moment. I do believe Lion got vision of them. Yeah, of course they got vision of Lion, but Lion did start with boots, so he's gonna be fast enough to outrun everybody on Burster's side. Glimpse, as good as the ability may be, level 1, it's not that high of a range. But both teams should be able to pick up 1 bounty rune each, unless the Lion is gonna go absolute man mode and go give away first blood for the bounty rune, which of course wouldn't even be worth it. So they're gonna have possibly Clockwork pick it up just to get those extra levels going, and Fox did show himself, but nobody was close enough to really punish him there. There is a sentry though, blocking off a big camp. I do suppose they were expecting Axe to quite possibly be in the jungle straight out, or then again, them having a tri-lane safe lane. It does mean that Axe, if his offlane fails, he wants to go into the jungle, and if there are stacks waiting for him, it would always be nice, but that sentry, I don't think it's gonna like ruin the game plan of Burster by any means. But Axe just hiding in the trees, getting the level, wants to get that easy level 2, although Ian, he's gonna go and check and find him. No, he saw Axe in the end. Axe goes for that counter helix, but taking a lot of harassment already from those Burning Spears. Of course, Burning Spears do somewhat damage Huskar himself, but that's just easy harass. That was 4 attacks, and even with a Tango, he lost more than 400 or more than 200 HP. Altogether, probably like 300 damage. Oh, bottom lane, Loon. He's gonna be fine. Primo, does he even have pounce? He does, already used beforehand though. So Clockwork just gonna be fine, even though he did go for Rocket Flare level 1. There was a sentry used as well here, although didn't find this Observer Ward. So this Observer Ward gives Rune Vision, blocks off the double pull, and that's like success for a Burster there. No double pull through. They should have 1 extra sentry. Yeah, Scarif Mage does have it. So knowing that this is blocked, this area here is like, or well, possibly this little cliff here. This area is the only one, and this sentry covers all of it, of course. So they're gonna find it. But it's still a little bit of a good start as Yaj. Is he going to go down to the Burning Spears? They need a little bit more, and the Tango will keep the Axe alive. So Axe, healing salves himself up. Is gonna be just fine as... Oh, mid lane, Invoker takes a lot of time from Jules. Jules gonna go up to the high grounds like, Invoker, come at me, bro, if you're there. Of course, from when and until when. Just back the hell out when he saw Medusa coming. Medusa now has a bottle finishes well, wants to just keep the Mystic Snake spam going. And as you can see, Invoker, even with 2 points into Quas, can't quite region up enough for now, as bottom lane Chemo does get a little bit of a backstab into Loon, but all he can do is just throw out a couple of arcane bolts. Mid lane though, VR Cat on the Vengeful. He's around, but there's no EMP, only a cold snap from when? From when? Is what I should say, but that would be just weird. Rocket Player comes out. They're waiting for it. Maybe they want the Invoker to hit level 4, get it like 1 point into Vex or something as well. But Courier, oh, VR Cat. Missing his opportunity. I think he could have been able to kill the Courier. There's the Mystic Snake as well. Will return, didn't hit a target. But Vengeful is just gonna back off, so that Invis rune didn't accomplish anything. At least like throw out a stun or something, threaten the Medusa a little bit. Make him use mana, but then again, if he loses a little bit of health, I mean, he has bottle charges anyway to regain his mana, so it would be just 2 in 1 all of a sudden, make the bottle even more worth it. But Vengeful himself just wasted a little bit of time. Of course, it's not like he has an Axe to zone out, because Axe has already gone into the jungle. Farms up the Mod Golems. Axe is one of the few heroes that doesn't care about Mod Golems, maybe even likes them a little bit. Power Cogs do push Chemo back, making him lose a little bit of mana. Already has a Clarity in the stash to just come out for him mid lane though. Looking at the last hit numbers, 15 and 5 on Jules, up against 11 and 4. So Invoker, even though did not go for the Exort, still not having that hard of a time in last hitting. I mean, Bracers, I suppose they help a little bit, but definitely not as much as, let's say, that Null Talisman would. But I find it a little bit surprising that the Disruptor and Vengeful aren't trying to do a little bit more in roaming around. See, because Huskar, well, he has absolute free farm. Nobody's on the lane. So the supports, they should be just pulling, stacking, non-stop, more or less. But 4 minutes, 15 seconds in, no first blood yet. Ruin will get Earth spiked up and slowed, but just not enough follow-up. And suddenly Magic Missile is this, but VR he's out of mana. Yacht Toto comes in. If he gets the Berserker Skull, it might all be over. The creeps are there. He's waiting for it. I don't know why he cancelled it. It's because he was way too far at the time. He just needed to run a little bit farther, but then again, does not have boots. Neither does the Vengeful, but even Vengeful has 5 extra movement speed on an Axe. So Yacht wasting a little bit of time there. If you compare offlaners, Clockwork is having the better time. Last hit wise, maybe Axe by a little bit, but 7 jungle creeps to 4 normal creeps makes up for about the same amount. Depending, of course, the jungle creeps you get. But Yach, he's even gonna try to stack this camp now. Does fail, unfortunately for himself. But this B camp has spawned now that the sentry expires. So he's gonna go straight into that one. Does have a Ring of Regen as well. Doesn't quite have the Tranquil Boots yet, but it's getting close enough. Slark, of course, absolute free farm as well, purchasing a Ring of Health, selling it again. Now goes into Power Treads and Orb of Venom instead, so not gonna go for the greed of the Hand of Midas. Just gonna take it, normally maybe go for the Blink next, maybe even a Shadow Blade. If Huskar jumps, you just activate Shadow Blade if it's really that bad, or if you don't have the Shadow Dance, for example. Since they don't have any other Invis heroes, it may even be worth it just forcing Burster into a hell of a lot of just dusts or sentries. But 5 minutes, 51 seconds in, still no first blood. This has been one of the more passive games I've had the displeasure to cast. Although it's been decent-ish. Jules, he does pop his ultimate to slow down Invoker. It's maybe a little bit too greedy now. The kinetic field comes out as well with the glimpse, and from when and until when it's gonna be fine. But in the meantime, they do find the Lion. Probably got the Power Cogs. Of course, Battery Assault was there as well. So first blood does happen, and I miss it just because, well, they wanted to go top lane. Jules still has the double damage. Another kinetic field, but Jules wanted to cut into Ian, but Ian... Never mind, the tower didn't even give enough vision due to nighttime, but... Axe does take over the mid lane for now, so some easy XP, some easy last hits while at it. But Burster, they are the ones to claim first blood. Oh, Medusa still has the double damage for a couple of seconds, will come in, but the tornado into Yacht and Chemo as well. That tornado was spot on. Jules comes in, Mystic Snake needs a few more attacks, and the Berserker Skull will buy him that little bit of time. Now Clockwork does get the cogs to push back. Medusa is completely out of mana. Has one bullet charge, but is he going to be able to run away? Cat this time around also has boots. Nice body blocking into Jules, but there's going to be Fox. Gets the Earth Spike, but Jules, that low on mana, tries to puddle up. There's the Hex on Tulun. They need to prevent those cogs from happening. The glimpse back, and Medusa is going to lose his life for his Yaj. Gets the Berserker Skull only onto the Clockwork to Cat. Somehow manages to dodge that one. They need more counter helixes. One more, or yeah, gets it. Medusa though also dies, so kind of a messy engagement as Axe now. Why did he keep on running that way? He runs into an Invoker and now he's gonna lose his own life. And whoa, what do we know? Ian comes in with that life break, will get Fox down. Life break into a couple of burning spears. Has picked up the Helm of Iron Will. Is it Helm of Iron Will? Yes. Whew. Picks up the Helm of Iron Will, and that may be either a Helm of Dominator or the Armlet, of course. You may even build both, it's completely fine. But Slark still number 1 in last hits, but net worth wise, yeah, also slightly, ever so slightly above that Husker for now. Husker first did lose a little bit of farming time, but not that big of a deal really. But kill advantage, 3 more kills for Burster. Definitely nicely done. Ian picks up the haste room, but nobody's really top lane, so it's just gonna make use of it, first of all by denying it to the enemy team, and then just getting back to the farming of his own lane. Oh, there is a smoke, but runs into a high ground Clockwork. Clockwork has the hookshot, but silenced. Hexed. Earth Spike probably will follow. Did use it at the same time as the Berserker's Call, and they just lack the damage for now. The dunk. Okay, he cancelled it himself or got fogged out of vision, or I don't know. In the end, they do get the kill. Took them quite a bit, just Skydive Mage not that highly leveled at the moment. Same can be said for the Lion. Lion is a lot closer to level 6 than Skydive is, so that's pretty important for you. Just Finger of Death allows you to get way easier kills than otherwise. Jules though, 33 last hits compared to 29 of the Invoker, so mid lane is pretty even, man. Even the KDAs are somewhat similar. Jules has 1 more kill, but other than that, it's really similar. Axe though will use the Berserker's Call to try to farm up a triple stack. Does clean up quite a bit of them, but they do also at the same time a lot of damage to him. And now, for some reason unknown to me, the Wildling Gripper went on to Fox. I mean, Fox of course was attacking him as well, but usually it's like the nearest target should get most of it. But Yaj, 1.7k gold in the bank now. Slark gets his own Blink Dagger finished, and of course, if Burster are keeping tabs on the Slark, which their supports should be checking just minimap item progression, they will now know that there's a Blink, and well, with the Blink, there is a Armlet finished up for Husker, giving him extra survivability by a ton. Extra armor, of course, as well, which will, in return, already increase his base survivability as it is. And already putting it to some use. Might go for an Urn of Shadows as well. Definitely not too uncommon of an item on a Husker. Especially since Vengeful just doesn't have the necessary gold to go for that one. Oh, Clockwork will meet his end in the meantime. Blink, Pounce, Chemo helping out with a couple of Arcane Bolts. And Finger of Death was used as well to just make that burst really fast. So Execration have managed to find 2 kills, whereas during the same duration Burster has gotten 0. From when and until when though, is working his way towards the bottom lane. Does have an Invis rune and is Tornado, Cold Snap invoked for now. He made Tornado, Cold Snap invoke fast into EMP as well. There is a TP coming in now. It is the Clockwork hookshot, still on cooldown though. So him catching somebody is going to be extremely difficult. And with this, Invoker is like, screw this. No point for me to just hang around for too long, overstay my welcome. I'm gonna go back into the mid lane. Maybe even get some kind of a gank going onto the Medusa instead. If only one hero, or well, 1+ heroes joined them. But there is some nice stacking going on. This one, did it just get blocked by Primo blinking in? It may have. But this is a juicy triple stack. 2 centers to do quite a lot of damage. You would. Oh, mid lane, Blink Pounce into from when and until when, but he has the Ghost Walk if need be. Plus, Primo baited out the TPs, and with that, he's fine. Now, Axe also coming out with his own Blink Dagger is being delivered out to him as bottom lane. Oh, Fox in a lot of trouble, cogged in, gets a nice Earth Spike landing onto 2, but he's not gonna escape it. Bad result, being in those cogs for so long, just no chance. So with this Disruptor is also level 6, maybe was before already. But oh, Blink, Pounce will land into you, and can it do anything? Gets the ultimate of the Static Storm means that there's no Shadow Dance and Primo. He's screwed now. Goes down to the Rocket Flare, which is maxed out. Clockwork, what a play. Disruptor as well, of course. Just got pounced and turned around immediately. Easy kinetic field, Static Storm. No Shadow Dance means no slippery fish. So 4 to 7 Burster, not looking bad at all. Looking at the graphs though, it was a 2k network lead for Execration anyway because they farmed a little bit better in general. But XP is about a 600 lead now for Burster. So it's kind of an even game for now, but Axe having the Blink and Slark both. Although Fox again in trouble, does get the Hex, but needs a little bit more disables. And suddenly, is there going to be a silence? Berserker's Call will not catch Loon, but it's going to catch VR. Loon goes down anyway. VR Cat though will just run away from Axe, who got a little bit mana burn from those cogs, I do believe it was. So they get another kill. They're keeping up with the pressure. Plus, Slark and Medusa have some pretty decent farm. And well, Ian tried to make his way there, and oh, Chemo is in some trouble. He does get the silence and Invoker, and with that just runs away. Drums finally finished on the Invokers, but not going to be a fast Orchid by any means, just really struggling on the farm. Last hit numbers aren't that depressing, but they aren't really great either at the same time. I mean, the Axe has more, Clockwork has a little bit less, but Maiden, oh, Invoker, Blink, Pounce comes out. He should have the Ghost Walk though, no, never mind, not gonna do it. I don't exactly know why he didn't immediately just invoke into Ghost Walk. But that was an easy kill. Finger of Death, of course, making the kill a little bit faster than the Invoker might have expected it to be. Maybe thought it's really just Slark by himself trying to get that. Bottom lane, look at the Burster gang squad though. They're just waiting for one miserable hero to come and defend. Then use the life break from the Husker and just kill somebody off. They might find that somebody in forms of Primo, but definitely not an easy kill to get. You need to get a stun or silence, but I hear a hookshot coming out. The glimpse back though. It saves Yacht though. Oh no, that's a disaster. And Yacht now, he has the blink ready. Do they have the proper vision? Blink, no, into the Static Storm. Primo once again caught there. There's going to be a life break. Primo gets out of the silence, but the silence lasts for just long enough. Now the Tornado buys a little bit extra time, but with the tank, they get the extra movement speed. They even used that Stone Gaze from Jules, who had a haste rune. Maybe could have gone a little bit deeper with that. Mystic Snake will do two damage to a couple, but Primo, he comes in, he bought back for this. Wants to get the kill, but has to go into Shadow Dance. He's just taking so much damage. He's gonna go for Lundo. 2 heroes down on Burster. They got the Husker. Nice Berserker's Call from Yaj. Can they get the kill on Invoker? They should be able to do so. With the dunk, they get the movement speed, and well, never mind. Who needs movement speed when you have Blink Primo? That buyback was well worth it on the Slark. Keeping their tier 1, coming in from behind. And Burster, they lose all of their heroes. All they get is a Slark. And well, they get the Slark to buyback as well, but even then, huge advantage to Execration. And as time continues, it's going to be harder and harder for them to deal with the Slark and the Medusa both. It's not like they themselves have a Finger of Death for that easy massive burst, and they can't really rely every single time for the Disruptor to land the Static Storm Kinetic Field combination on the Slark. So Jules has himself a Yasha now, had picked up a point booster beforehand, but I suppose now he's like, I'd like a little bit of extra movement speed and then go for the Skadia next. I mean, point booster definitely not too bad, increasing your mana pool, which in return increases your effective health, thanks to that mana shield of course, and of course, does increase your health pool as it is as well. So Medusa, not as tanky as he could be, but it's only 15, about 60 minutes into the game. Chemo now did realize that Burster must have some kind of vision in the enemy jungle. Does Sentry the Observer ward out. Fox trying badly to farm up his Blink Dagger on the Lion in the meantime. Up to 1.4k gold, so isn't like super far off, but not gonna be that magical like 12-13 minute support Lion Blink. But it's still good enough, I'd say. Top lane though, oh, they want to go for the Medusa. Hookshot will not get dodged, so close. He was just running to the left side now. Does get off the Stone Gaze though. And that's gonna petrify up the heroes. The Clockwork, Cogs, and the Jules. He's gonna be just fine. Yaj, is he gonna really go? No, he's gonna get glimpsed out. Glimpse too strong in the back lines. Blink Pounce finds VR Cat, but another Kinetic Field, Static Storm, and Power Cog combination. He should have popped his Shadow Dance while he still could. There was a little bit of time, but there's the Blink Berserker's Call onto 2 Mystic there to follow. Oh god, they're dropping solo. They use the Finger of Death, but they're gonna lose Yaj as well here. This time around, Slark cannot buy back for this. They get an Invoker, they get the Vengeful Spirit. And oh, the Earth Spike lands onto 2 Chemo. He's not going to stay alive regardless though. Jules needs some more physical damage. They get the 1 kill, but there's the life break into Jules. Trying to TP out. It's not going to happen. Burning Spears. OP. Blink is finished on Lion though, so in that sense it was a nice fight. Fox, he went back in for an Earth Spike, but now he's going to be screwed, isn't he? Or is he Lund trying to just figure out which way Fox is going? But Fox ran the right direction for now, and well, in the end, a 4-for-3 fight. Burster definitely taking the upper hand, killing the Slark, killing all the cores there. But since Lion was alive for most of the fight, what am I saying? Most of the fight. It is now a Blink Dagger for Lion, so that's nice. Plus, not only that, a level 2 Finger of Death. The Finger of Death to it may have been slight overkill on the Invoker. Could have used it to just bring somebody else low enough, fast enough. But this Disruptor has been doing a hell of a lot of work, apart from that one glimpse onto the axe. His Static Storms have really just screwed over Primo big time, and Primo not really all the tanky at the moment, just has the Blink. Has had the Blink for a really long time as well, but the item progression afterwards just hasn't really come out. Yach though, smoked up. Oh no, VR Cat Blink, Berserker's Call. At least Vengeful did get the bounty rune beforehand. Finger of Death is still on cooldown. Well, they don't need to use it anyway, just easy dunk and escape. Dunk now can scale it up to level 2 if he wants to. It's just going to give him the increased threshold, which is always nice to have. Is Whiff holding a point for now though? Definitely hasn't put it into stats either. I don't know why he's not scaling up anything, but doesn't really matter as much. Slark also is level 11, has the level 2 Shadow Dance. The thing is, can he even use the Shadow Dance? What does Jules have in the meantime? Doesn't have anything else, hasn't been able to farm up an Ultimate Orb. But Ian has himself the lifesteal, going for a BKB next. And once he gets a BKB, it's going to be really hard for Execration to secure a kill on Huskar. Stonegaze though will take just some precious seconds off that BKB if positioned correctly. But oh no, Primo is locking a lot of trouble. Static Storm will miss though, as will the hookshot. Nice attempt, but the creeps blocked it now. Pop the Shadow Dance, maybe a little bit preempted, but they want to go and fight. Blink, Berserker's Call comes out on a couple of heroes. Mystic Flare was used to kill off the Disruptor, but only Disruptor and the Cogs keep the axe in place. Ian does get petrified, takes a lot of extra damage, but he's still alive. Goes in with the life break at the sidelines. Invoker just outrunning them. Ian, he's absolutely man fighting this. He's even staying alive. Uses his heal. Armlet toggle as well. 4 heroes down, only 1 on Burster's side. And now Lun, he was trying to look for the Lion as well, but Lion couldn't even use the ultimate. Maybe just came off cooldown, not entirely sure, but that was such a dominating fight. Of course, Burster initiated, but Slark popping the Shadow Dance and getting Tornado straight after meant that your Shadow Dance pretty much got almost 0 value. I think he could have waited with it a little bit longer, considering that Hookshot as well as the Static Storm had already been used. But Huskar also just jumping on the Medusa. Medusa just doesn't have enough at the moment. Lion does find a kill on the Vengeful Spirit. Somehow probably just Finger of Death. Chemo though, easy life break into a kill. Life break, such a low cooldown as it is. And he just heals himself up with the urn. 6 urn charges. We do have a stun. A hookshot lands as well though. Ian will go down to 1 more counter helix. Lundo, is he gonna die as well? Nope. Tornado EMP will secure the kill on the axe instead. And Fox, he's on the run and should be able to get another blink off. Primo? Nope. It's fine. Not gonna go in suicidal mode. Look at the net worth. Oh, the blink pounds onto Invoker. Invoker, is he really gonna go down here? Does get healed up by Huskar a little bit. An urn charge as well, possibly. Not gonna throw that one out. But the inner vitality just saving the Invoker there. And Ian, he isn't going for BKB. He is gonna go for the Heaven's Halberd instead. Against Medusa, definitely not bad. Even against the Slark, it can work out wonders. Just create the mischance, and that way you do remove your biggest threat, which is, well, physical damage. I mean, magic damage is all bad as well, and of course getting Hexed or Earthspike wouldn't be desirable. But he can probably live through those. Now he TPs to top lane. Jules pops the Stone Gaze, but if he gets life broken, he's probably dead. I don't think... Yeah, Huskar can't get in range. Maybe he needs a blink next. Probably wouldn't even be that bad of an item to consider here for him. Jules though does have that first ultimate orb finish, so that's nice. But still needs a little bit more to finish up the entirety of the Skadi, but just those stats coming out from those ultimate orbs may already make a little bit of a difference there for them. 18 to 18 though is the kill score. Looking at the graphs, almost even as well, only about a 500 net worth lead for Execration. XP pretty much zeroed out as well. It's just for Burster, yes, this Huskar is extremely farmed. Everybody else though, yeah, not so much. If they had their farm a little bit better spread, or if like at least a couple of heroes had farm closer to the Huskar himself, they could run away with this game, but it's just this Invoker so far hasn't done much of anything. I mean, EMP is nice, especially if you get to Koge and that Medusa. There aren't any force left yet either, really. Nor will there be for some time by the looks of the item progression so far. But Burster, they're just grouping up. Maybe they want to get a tier 1 because they really do have to start pushing. They cannot let the Medusa farm, even if the Huskar is more farmed. The Axe and Slark make up for some of the difference, although then again, as I say that, Slark really doesn't have anything either. Maybe should have gone for the Midas. I mean, he's just unable to do much in the fights anyway. Top lane, oh, Primo, no. He's going to be in a lot of trouble again. There's a Disruptor there. Do we have a Static Storm? We do have, but he needs to get Glimpse back. He does get Glimpse back, but there's no Power Cox to keep him in. Hookshot does land though, and can they block the pounce? No, they cannot. Primo still alive. Thunderstrike drops him lower still. Where's the Shadow Blade when you need it? Dark Pact is used, but he's going to drop down to 1 from his own Dark Pact. Wave of Terror misses, but the Tornado does catch him. Attempts were good, but in the end, not great enough. But there is a Freeman Smoke. They can quite easily burst up one hero. Disruptor, well, Berserker's Call, no Mystic Terror even needed for that one. EMP comes out, but they're going to be able to outrun it. Thanks to that Culling Blade. So it's going to be 1 for 1. Of course, Burster definitely getting the better trade. So if this Invoker is getting close to the Slark, and well, Medusa is farming, but Burster, they've shown that in team fights they can do a pretty great job of dealing with Execration there. We have a fortification out. 6 HP. Fox, come on, be a man, do the right thing. Well, he's going to try to escape. I guess that is the right thing, but he gets Cold Snap, gets the Hex off. Earth Spike. Oh god, he needs to get it, but the creeps will kill him. That was a little bit of a misplay, but Axe did come in, get the Tower lasted. Wants to get the Berserker's Call, but Ghost Walk this time around will finally come out. And what do you know? Roshan going on in the meantime. Huskar just easily tanking that one up. 16 stacks. 16 stacks of Burning Spears. And that's Aegis now on the Huskar. He can just go balls deep, jump in to wherever he wants. Up to another 3k gold. May even want to finish up a Satanic just to get full life in no time. Huskar, guys. And I'm pretty sure if you just tuned in, this Huskar, I think it was a random pick. Because they ran out of reserve time and like 1 second after the Huskar appeared. Of course, Huskar, when it got picked, I was like, it's probably random, but it's not the worst hero to have this game. And as we see, definitely not the worst. 9, 1, and 2 so far on the Huskar. If only the rest of the team could just keep pace a little bit better. And with this, Skadi is finished. So, hopes of kiting around the Huskar are there. Although it actually happening, especially if Huskar should life break the Medusa or just close to 0. But Medusa has level 16. Level wise, Medusa is the highest for now. Huskar closing in on his own level 16, really close. Oh, mid lane. The jump comes in, but they pop the Stonegaze. Fox may still go down to the battery slot. Uses the Finger of Death, but the Blade Mail was, I think, still activated, or if not, Loon just tank it. Does get Culling Bladed, but the Kinetic Field keeps them in place for a little while longer. Swap out onto Even. Nice Tornado lands on free. Static Storm as well. It's just purely zoning plus the EMP. Just to make sure Execration do not follow for any more kills. It's a 1 for 1 for now with Ian. Well, looked like he wants a part of it, even if it is 1 versus 4. But the Clockwork for a Lion, well, numerically, kind of an even trade, as you can see. Of course, Execration getting a little bit more there. Probably just because they had more heroes close by, I think. But Satanic Recipe there for Ian. And that means that I'm in about 220 gold. We're gonna have a full-on Satanic for the Huskar. Oh, it's gonna be difficult for Execration to kill him. Hex, Earthspike durations, probably the easier ways to deal with that. But 26.5 minutes in now. Primo does have that first ultimate orb finally. Probably gonna go for the Skadi as well as the Medusa, of course. Just get the stats going. Oh, Ian does jump in, but gets hexed afterwards. Medusa. Stone Gate still on cooldown. Earth Spike as well. They may even get the Aegis down here. He's still alive though. No Satanic yet. So he's gonna lose his life. Gonna get dunked, and can they even get him twice? I mean, Primo is chasing down VR Cat at the same time, so there's no swap to the high ground. Life Break comes up, but Ian gonna get hexed again. There's the Mystic Flare. Of course, really resilient to magic, but it's gonna be enough. That was too deep. That's giving away a huge advantage. Not only that Primo finds himself a VR Cat, they're gonna get the Invoker now as well, I think. Although the hookshot does stun out Fox. So Fox, I think, is gonna lose his own life, even though he gets the Earth Spike beforehand. Stone Gaze is there, but Bad Air Assault will finish the trick. Another Blink Pounce. Ian gets caught. Primo still alive though, and I don't think Ian himself has enough damage. Glimpse back, but Blink, Culling Blade, they get the dunk going. Lund, the only one to escape. That fight was just horrible. Yes, Huskar here is strong, but you're like 100 gold away from a Satanic. You have the Aegis. No need to go that deep. Why would you go that deep? Oh wow. That's just a semi-throw, I'd like to say. With the help of with the backup of the team, Huskar could do so much more, but they could just quite easily reserve all the lockdown for that Huskar and not get punished for it at all. Also, Primo just... Oh, there's the hookshot. Chemo will lose his life loon. Nice 4-step and TP out. Smart plays. But it was also the fact that Vengeful was hanging around this area, but Primo found him and was just pulling him into those trees here, like this way. And that meant that Vengeful Spirit cannot just swap the Huskar to the high ground. I think he just should have stood his ground, go for the swap, because Vengeful Spirit was dead anyway. I mean, Slark killed him as it is. So may as well have just swapped himself for the safety of the Huskar. If you look at the graphs now, it was already getting better before this fight, but now up to almost a 5k net worth lead. XP nearing the 6 to 7k mark. So Execration not looking bad at all. Medusa has caught up to the Huskar's farm. Only 200 net worth difference now. Huskar still trying to finish up that. Oh no, Jules though might be in a lot of trouble. They have the hookshot. Ian does see Jules as well. Stone Gaze is popped, and can he escape this? He's going to get silenced up. The Bad Air Assault will make it so the Jules can't TP out, even if he did have a TP. Does purchase a Manta style recipe though, so doesn't lose that much gold, I suppose, but it's gonna be still a Satanic finished. Oh, never mind, I say it doesn't lose a lot of gold, but lost 539. Unreliable gold for the loose guys, unreliable gold. Yeah, no, Blink Berserker's Hold, they get the Mystic Flare as well, but the 4-step out from Loon. What team plays that? Even swapped out as well, Ian. He's gonna have a life break now. Still doesn't have the Satanic though. Still holding on to the gold. If he dies now, although he jumps Chemo can't really do anything to that. They're gonna get themselves a Disruptor though. Primo in the Shadow Dance trying to escape. Judge Dota, Blink, he has it, but Tornado, never mind. Blinks away just before it connects. So a 2 for 2 in the end. Or well, I say 2 for 2, but Medusa already died beforehand, so it was a 1 for 2 in the mid lane. Huskar did do a lot of damage, but he couldn't stay in the fight at the start. First of all, they 4-staffed him out, then they had to swap him out as well. If he only had the Satanic delivered out a little bit earlier, but he's up to another 800 gold now. So Huskar once again makes about a 1k net worth difference between himself and the Medusa. Clockwork is the second highest farmer though on Burster, which isn't that great of a prospect if you look just towards the later stages of the game. But with the Manta style finished, Medusa definitely tanking up to 2k health now, 1.4k mana as well. So not gonna be an easy pickup as it was just like 10 minutes ago or so. How close to... Yeah, never mind, Skadi finished on the Slark as well. Level 16, has the maxed out Shadow Dance now. So I think Execration, they have weathered the storm for the most part, of course. That's not to say that they can't just lose like one bad fight or lose a couple of heroes without buybacks and still lose the game. I mean, such a thing can still happen, but I think Execration just should have the upper hand here lineup-wise and the amount of farm they have so far. Oh, water is so good. Water is the juice of life, guys. Juice of life. Skyrim Mage, though, is getting closer to his own 4-staff. So if somebody gets coaxed, soon enough at least they have one hero to try to save them. Fox try to work towards one as well. They are completely safeguarding Jules for now. Who maybe could have even kited around the Ancients a little bit farther. So that he would take less damage and lose less mana shield because of that. Even though he is in the mid lane, Burster, they are grouped up with all of them. Do they have a smoke? They do, but for some reason Invoker was left out. This Invoker though, Quas Vex, really haven't felt it all that much. Hookshot not gonna come out. Static Storm was used as well, but Slark by that time already backed off. It's just Burster, they saw him, they went behind the trees, lost the vision for a second, and I'm not too sure if Primo saw the Static Storm though in return. But Loon trying to work towards an Aghanim Scepter. The 12-second cooldown on the hookshot definitely could make a difference. Axe though has picked up a null talisman. Oh, Primo, he does go in. The kinetic field is there, the hookshot as well with the power cog. So Primo, he's gonna lose his life, I think. Unless he gets to pounce out, he's still alive. Nope, the tornado will secure his kill. He was so close to having the bounce away from there. But that was just too deep. You should have expected the backup to be there. I mean, even the Disruptor isn't the easiest kill. I mean, 900 HP, it's not a lot or anything, but this Slark isn't all that farmed for this point in time in the game. So just going over aggressive and Burster with this, they're gonna just come in and grab an easy tier 2, I think. I mean, what's to stop them from doing so? Unless Burster themselves try to go for kills and overextend. I mean, they do not have the Disruptor at the moment, for one. So they're not even gonna pressure that one. They're not gonna force the tier 2, or are they? Maybe waited for the creep wave. But towers still have... Yeah, they had to wait for creep wave, I think. But this creep wave just goes down so fast to the multi-shot of Jules. So they're not gonna be able to push after all. They're gonna back off. Roshan is not gonna be up for another 40 to 50 seconds or so. Looking at the graphs again, it is about the 6k network lead, 6k in XP as well. So Burster, they are falling behind. They do have an Aghanim on Invoker now, so I suppose that may be a difference maker. But this Invoker really has to just play perfect for that. His positioning, and I'm interested to see how many spells he can actually get off during a fight. I do think it's a 2-second cooldown now that Invoke isn't quite maxed out yet. Oh, it's a 4-second cooldown on the Scepter. So it's gonna be a 2-second cooldown on the last level, okay. And the mana cost is 0. 0 cost is mana, yes. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Roshan though, Primo, come on, don't go out of Roche Pit. Oh, it's gonna respawn now. What a timing to go out from Roche Pit. Fox though, only about 100 gold away from that fourth stuff being finished. Chemo already has his own. Primo has picked up a Ogre Club, so wants to go for the BKB. BKB definitely wouldn't be nice, just make it so that Static Storm really isn't a threat for you all of a sudden. But is there a gem on somebody? Yeah, VR Cat running around with a gem on the Vengeful. They did remove the Roshan area vision. And Execration, they don't have anything like Burster do. They don't have a Rocket Flare to just scout out Roshan, for example. And now Ian, well, he goes in, it's like, whoa, sweet! There's a Roshan and he should be able to do it solo quite easily. Even life breaks Roshan now. I suppose wanted to get a little bit of extra attack speed by losing his own health. But he's just gonna go for it. Does get bashed a couple of times and he's down to half HP. Of course, has to Satanic if he need be, but there's the Static Storm. Blink Berserker Skull lands on 2. They get the 2 kills. Supports are down. Loon, can he really fight? I don't think so. He's in the power cogs. Force staffs himself out. They get the stun on Husker. Just kite around the Husker and you're gonna be fine. The silence still in effect. But he jumps Jules now. But he's in the middle of so many heroes. Berserker Skull is there. Oh, the armor as well. Blade Mail not there, but they get the dunk anyway. 5-4-0. What a horrible fight for Burster and Execration. They were like, screw Roche Pit. Let Husker do it. We're just gonna kill the rest in the meantime. Beautiful Blink Berserker Skull catching the 2 support. Yes, the Static Storm came out, but by that time it was too late. Venture Spirit couldn't do anything at all. And Husker just arrived a little bit too late to the fight as well. Life Break was still on cooldown because he used it on Roshan. So huge misplace from Burster. I don't think they even got the minus armor onto Roshan to just speed up the process for Husker. And although Husker not the slowest hero to do it, and he can do it solo reliably with just having Satanic for lifesteal, that was just... they just got wrecked. There's no other way to put it, man. Execration, they didn't lose a single hero. Plus, they get the Aegis for themselves. It's Slark to have it now. BKB will be finished in about 1k gold. Jules up to 4k. He just purchased something. It is an Eagle song, so going to go for a Butterfly for himself. Tier 2 tower probably will go down. Heaven's Halberd finished on the axe. And since there's no BKB and Husker, Heaven's Halberd is just going to completely screw him over for a little while. I think Execration, they have this game now. They can still lose. They can still throw this. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Of course, I'm always keeping my fingers crossed for a possible Huskar to just come back and win the game. Because I would somehow like that people could justify a Huskar getting picked. But at the moment, of course, they're just getting outplayed in general. It's maybe just not the best lineup surrounding the Huskar. That may be it as well. I mean, the EMP is nice, but Medusa by this point is just so stacked that they don't care that much about it. Nor can Invoker just get them off reliably at the moment, just all his spell. About 37 minutes in now. Execration holding on to a pretty huge lead, about 14, well, almost 15,000 net worth. About 20k in XP as well. Wow, that escalated quickly. 4-step will be finished. No, not the 4-step. Yule Scepter is what Ion is building. So they have some item progression though. 2.8k on the Huskar, so that's nice. But what is he going to turn it into? Is it just Monkey King Bar now that you see a butterfly coming out, as well as of course the Heaven's Halberd being there? I would think so. Just get some extra damage on Huskar now. But the Execration, they are rather grouped up. They don't want to give any chances for Bursters to just get a couple of solo pickoffs and just crawl their way back to this game. But if you're Execration, having the Aegis, having the BKB finished now, pretty much just needs to purchase it up and have the courier deliver it. They could go high ground themselves if they really wanted to. I mean, they still have an 8-second BKB. They have a Blink 4-staff Lion, who has a level 3 Finger of Death. Scar of Mage even has himself another Staff of Wizardry. Is it a Dagon? Is it the Yule Scepter? Either one is going to be somewhat fine in all fairness. Probably going to be Yule's though, I would think. But BKB delivered out. Jules has the butterfly finished and even has enough gold for buyback. And well, nope, doesn't have enough buyback. Never mind, missing 300 gold. I guess level 23 is quite high. But Huskar, the only one to have it in burster. EMP will drain Jules' mana by quite a bit, but I think it's still going to be fine unless Execration don't have any backup from the rest of the team. Look at this to Yach with the Invis rune. Oh, wow. There is no gem anymore in Burster because they did lose it in the previous fight. Ian, of course, not a primary target to jump, I think, even. But he's waiting for Yach. I think he wants to go in, but he's a little bit hesitant about just kind of tying himself that it's a bait. It was for the most part a bait, but Huskar now gets a BKB finally. So waiting with the damage, but he doesn't really need extra damage. He's attacking pretty fast. Burning Spears doing a lot of work there as well. But this way he's just not going to get disabled unless it's of course a Hex before the BKB or Jules. Oh, there's the Blink Berserker Skull. They catch that Invoker and they're going to get the kill as well, but Ian will get the jump on Medusa. Jules already out of mana because he did get hit by the EMP, and with the BKB Huskar I think he's going to get the kill, or never mind. Fourth F, oh, got him to the high ground as well. Now there's the Hex. Chemo already completely out of mana. Invoker does buy back, but Ian going to get slowed down quite a bit around. Physical damage should be enough. Finger of Death does nearly nothing. Satanic is popped. Another life break. Chemo, well, that's the gem on the ground. They do not get Ian just because their physical damage is elsewhere fighting the backlines. Oh, those power cocks, so pesky. Primo, he might lose his Aegis here, but Yach Soto gets a 1 kill. Berserker's Call is there, another dunk. No, not enough mana. They do get the kill, but Ian, he's back. He's still alive and really healthy at it as well. Medusa did survive. Primo should be able to escape as well, although the life break is there. Shadow Dance on cooldown. Oh wow, Primo, is he really gonna die? He is. Huskar, too strong. Although I will have no idea why would you finger a Huskar who is like on less than half HP. That magic resistance is just ridiculous from that point. But well, in the end, Burster kind of win the fight. They get rid of the Aegis. They kill Slark again somehow. I don't know how. Don't ask me. They kill the Radiant Courier now. This game is just not over yet. I think Execration that he just should have backed off from the front lines and all just killed off the Huskar, because Huskar, he was so far from his own team at the same time, and Execration should be the more mobile one. Execration should have gotten to the Huskar faster and been able to kill him off than Burster should have been to just catch up. It is still a massive lead though. It doesn't change that much because 3 heroes still died on Burster. But Huskar is up to 4.2k gold. He just finished the BKB before that fight. That's legit, guys. That is legit. So if he gets like a Monkey King bar now as well, he can quite possibly kill off a Medusa by himself. Although Medusa was just kind of trying to outrun Huskar and Burster. The rest of them need to provide a little bit of help with just the slows or stuns or just kinetic field to stop them from moving away, so that Huskar can have kind of uninterrupted attack time. Huskar, he is scary. I mean, that Satanic, of course, saving his life there as well for sure. I for a second thought like, he's dead. He's gonna die just to right clicks of Medusa. Oh, the hookshot into Chemo, but he picked up an Invis rune. Sunstrike will help out with the kill. Power Cogs to push Chemo back as well. He does survive. Invis rune, what a rune to grab there. Haste rune wouldn't have been enough. Invis, really the only thing that could have saved him in that situation. And well, I say could have saved him. It did save him. Yule Scepter is finished now on that Disruptor though. So he can set up his own Static Storm. Too bad he doesn't have an Aghanim Static Storm. That way he could like Yule Scepter up the Slug, put the Static Storm down, and Slug just comes in, can't pop the BKB anymore. But Monkey King Bar now finished up on the Medusa. So the Heaven's Halberd on Huskar isn't going to be an issue either, at least not for the Medusa that is. Slug hasn't gotten anything for some time now. I mean, it's really not been that great of a game for Slark in general this time. Medusa is of course taking a lot of farm on the map away from them, but Medusa not saving enough for buyback. Huskar once again the only one to have buyback on Burster's side. Axe the only one to have it for Execration, and no Boots of Travels to speak of anyway. Axe though, he may even have enough for Boots of Travels plus buyback, or well, he should have enough. But 43 minutes in and game is still gonna keep on going. Oh, this game. Execration, they've had really long games today. Really long. And I've had the pleasure to cast them solo. Hells yeah. At least we had a pretty moderate amount of action, so that makes it a hell of a lot better for probably both me and you guys. But Lone, 12-second hookshot. What's he gonna be able to do with that one? We did already see one fight going their way, but they smoke up. They want to get the jump on Burster, and the Force Spirits are the first ones to just scout things out. Disable the Blink Daggers of Axe, that's nice. If they can jump in now, they're gonna have Ian go in first. There's the hookshot onto Jules though. Do they have the EMP to follow? They do, but the Force Staffs get them out of it. Jules still in some trouble. Heaven's Halberd is up, can't really attack anything. Does get off the Stone Gauge though, and Ian now, he is petrified, as is Lone. Berserker Skull, will it come out? Oh, the Force Staff, the Finger of Death into Evoker, who is still alive. Battle Hunger on him, but he manages to outrun most of it. Hookshot in the backlines, Misty Flare is used, but Clockwork is pretty tanky. Blade Mail activated. Scarlet Mage more or less just killed himself. He is alive, but cannot really re-enter the fight. Now, we do have a pounce onto Ian, but Kinetic Field is down. Disruptor, he's going to stay alive. Primo, Life Break is there. Oh, Berserker Skull onto a couple. Saves their lives, but a beautiful hookshot into Power Cogs. They do get those kills in the end. Ian, still healthy. Or plenty healthy at least. 3.1k health. I think Monkey King Bar is probably the best choice, but at some point, like, may want to go for like a Heart of Tarask. That way, not too sure how Execration would even just hope to kill him. The inner vitality itself already would just heal him so much based on the amount of strength he has. But in the end, Burster once again win a fight. Medusa does survive, but it's really not like that big of a win that your Medusa survives when you still lose the Slark and the Axe. Slark does have a Basher, so that's nice. Axe 4.3k gold, so the world is his oyster. Can just purchase anything almost. Maybe an AC would be a pretty nice choice, just boost up the physical damage to try to deal with the Huskar there. This Huskar is a pain in the ass. Maybe go for an Abyssal Blade of your own on the Axe. Hex, I suppose, wouldn't be like the most horrible item, but Ian does get himself a Monkey King Bar. We'll have to get rid of a TP Scroll though. So next item should be Boots of Travels for him, just to make sure that you do have a TP if need be. But 46 minutes in, the graph, it is still a 15,000 net worth lead. XP though, what used to be about a 22,000 lead, has dwindled down to 13 only. Still a massive lead, and Execration, they still should have this game to be honest. But it's just proving to be a hell of a lot more difficult than it should be. Those Force Staffs though, just saving lives. Oh, we do have a champion. Lune got the hookshot, but Chemo's still alive. Those Force Staffs, like I said, Lune now, suddenly Misty Flare on him, didn't even get off the Blade Mail because he got hexed. Ian though, with his BKB activated, chooses not to jump in. And Primo, he's just gonna punish this. I think Pounce does miss. Oh, Ian! He stopped himself. There's the Usurper, but BKB is there on Slug. Static Storm not gonna come out, but the swap from VRCat. Of course, he swaps himself into a Berserker Skull. Ian taking a lot of damage. Can they kill him this time around? Husker dropping low, gets the Satanic. No dunk because of the Satanic lifesteal. It's on cooldown now. Jules completely out of mana. There was a Chaos Meteor even, but Ian, he's going to get Hex now, and he's probably going to lose his life. They need a little bit more resistance. Tornado, a second too late, or is it Fox? He's going to lose his life to Burning Spears, but they killed the Husker finally so. And no Burning Spears, never mind, only one stack left. So Fox even stays alive. Beautifully just executed from Execration and Burster. After they lost the Clockwork that fast, they were on the decline. Didn't get off the Blade Mail either, just Hex too strong, and this is also going to mean Roshan. This may be the nail in the coffin, because not is it only the ages, it's also that world-class Grana Padano cheese. Although I have never tasted that cheese myself. I've heard that it's massive, Grana Padano or whatever it's called. In any case, it's gonna be there with them. If they can get it though, it's not that fast of erosion. There's EMP, Chaos Meteor, Deafening Blast, Primo out of mana. They will still stick around to finish it just because, well, no Husker means that Burster, highly unlikely that they will come and try to contest this one. So Fox picks up the cheese now. There's gonna be a Shiva's card finished on Yach, so he's gonna be able to tank up physical damage a hell of a lot better. And, well, in general, should be pretty nice for Execration now to just end the game. Couchor Travels even picked up on Medusa. Medusa pretty much 6 slotted now. Does have like room for one additional item. Maybe Daedalus. Or if you're a real man, you go Rapier, but probably not gonna happen. Cheese is there on Medusa now, so killing this Medusa should be near impossible. Unless you kill everybody else off really fast and then focus the Medusa. 2.7k on Lun. They could use some hexes, or well, they could use somebody else doing the damage. But speaking of hexes, Invoker is only like 100 gold away from that one. So the hex may be a difference maker, but then again, Primo also farming up finally. Abyssal Blade only about 1.4k away if that's the item he's gonna go for. The hex though it very well might be that surprise factor that allows them to just get a kill or two. If only they had a little bit of more lockdown, or if they get the Medusa in a Static Storm for example, then get to hex him up afterwards and just have the Husker attack at the same time. That Monkey King bar should make a difference, but I believe Husker had it for the last fight already and just, well, didn't make much of a difference in the end. Just Husker solo core up against what Execration has. It's hard. EMP will get torched, or rather the Tornado got torched, which meant that the EMP will never be on target anyway. At least in not that situation. Jules to attack. Oh, Primo, he blinks in, already activates the Shadow Dance Loon. Interceptor will blink, Berserker Skull will catch to it, one of those is the Husker, so he's not damaging anybody else. They do bring down the Vengeful Spirit who swapped out Loon beforehand. Clockwork though, petrified up, takes an easy spill, and now Ian trying to man fight, activates the Satanic, but he's missing a lot of attacks just into the... Never mind, he cannot miss. What am I saying? It's just him not lifestealing enough. I suppose Mana Shield, he didn't do enough damage because of the Mana Shield there. Oh, Chemo though will lose his life, but Space created. Husker buys back into this as well. Loon hookshots in just to get closer, but is it gonna be enough? Jules, he's still in fighting condition, to be honest, has enough mana. He's not gonna take a chance though, although Loon, another hookshot in 2 seconds. Glimpse back as well. Jules, well, he's completely solo now. He's gonna lose so much of his mana. He's probably gonna lose his life as well. So Burster, they hold on. They don't even lose Rex. So that was weird. Although the Husker, I really thought he's gonna be able to lifesteal a hell of a lot more with the Satanic there. But didn't do that much damage to the Medusa, just Mana Shield too strong if you're 1v1 like that. But what a fight. Burster, hold on, and they delay this game out for an unknown period of time. Slark though, he of course went in initially because he does have the Aegis, but the Abyssal Blade is also finished now. Abyssal Blade might be that little bit that you need. If you can time it with that Satanic and Primo, well, he used the Abyssal Blade to just evaporate that Vengeful Spirit there. Shadow Dance now. Does pounce up as well, but doesn't have the gem. There was a gem on the ground, but oh, there's a hook shot. No, Primo. Gonna lose his Aegis. Even popped his BKB. Should have left his BKB for later. He was in the power cox. There was no escape from this one. If he goes down again, oh wow. Well, he doesn't really have a say in it. So gem will get picked up now. That was greed. Doesn't have buyback either. There is no buyback on Slark. Oh, Burster. Can they do it? Can they get a substantial advantage? Can they get racks down within that 77-second duration? Theoretically, yes, but I don't think they're gonna be able to. Wow. So Grana Padano is just a cheap supplement for original Parmigiano Reggiano. Reggiano is probably how they pronounce it instead, but okay. So it's not that great. Master Chef has been lying to me all along. They're always like, oh, the Grana Padano which every chef dreams of, blah blah. I've been lied to. I've been lied to. Goddamn TV, goddamn American TV shows. But thanks chat for letting me know. Free hugs for you. Free hugs for you. If you know what I mean. But BKB is finished on Invoker now, so I suppose that's decent-ish. Invoker, what's his net worth now even? Huh, up to 20,000, so has caught up reasonably well. Medusa also capped out with that next item, which is going to be a BKB. So, gonna play it safe, doesn't want to just randomly get EMP'd. Alacrity, Huskar though, is gonna be scary for sure, and Huskar himself, he should have something, right? He's gonna have Boots of Travels now. So he's also more or less 6-slotted. I suppose he can trade off that Heaven's Halberd, for example. But, man, YOLO Rapier time. I wish, chat, I wish. Huskar, to be honest, with a Rapier would do so much when he's attacking pretty fast. He's already attacking quite hard as well. If he has the armlet activated, he's hitting for like about 400 damage. With the Vengeful being there, at least it's 400, even a little bit above. But Execration, they are back. They want to just get those racks down and jewels. Oh, with the BKB in the front lines, feels pretty confident. Tornado will catch him EMP. Is he gonna put the BKB for this? Yes, he is. So he's gonna stand his ground. Life Break, of course, doesn't do any damage either because of the BKBs and Huskar. He's just slowed down to... He's kited around completely. Mystic Firewall does almost no damage, but the physical damage is definitely there. Satanic is pop, but Ian doesn't get enough uptime. Gonna get stunned up. There's the Abyssal Blade as well. They're gonna lose the Huskar. That's a Huskar without the buyback. That's GG. Huskar just went in with the life break into a BKB Jules and couldn't do anything after that. Should have just stood his ground, started fighting immediately so, but then again there would have been a Stone Gaze and this should be game, although then again they're still kind of killing people. Axe gonna lose his life, 2 supports already down, Jules a little bit low on mana, Sunstrike will connect, although a little bit soaked up from those illusions there. Primo comes back as well. Invoker still alive with his BKB. Berserk is called, the buyback on Yaj. They want to end this game and they should be able to do so now. Invoker, no more QQ walk, Ghost Walk on cooldown. Primo gets the kill. Everybody dead, no buyback. Execration finally to end this game. But damn, was it harder than it was supposed to be. Invoker did have buyback now. I suppose he was missing a couple of gold there. Ticked it together, maybe it was on cooldown. Sunstrike into Jules. Damn, is he slow. Deafening Blast. Oh, a little bit off target. And now Berserker's Call. Nice swap out, but I think he's still gonna go down. Yeah, he gets stunned. Jules still alive. VR Cat, he did his best, and with the help of the tower, his best did get the Medusa down, but Medusa just buys back. Boots of Travels in, already back in the dire base, and it should be enough for them to just even finish the Ancient if they really want to. I mean, everybody's dead for at least 47 seconds. Well, never mind. Disruptor is going to be packed up, but Disruptor by himself can't do anything at all. Like nothing. So GG, Execration, they win game number 1. A necessary win for them as well to just have a chance to get into the Division 1 and 2 playoffs. For sure, Execration, a team that does not want to stay in Division 2 forever. But guys, this was only game number 1. What a long one again. So we're gonna have still game number 2 also coming up. Until then, appreciate it that you have tuned in. Hopefully you enjoyed the casting and the game. If you did, you can follow HeflaTV for more content, of course, on our Facebook and Twitter. HeflaTV for both. For myself, it is at Couchor. And well, for now, We're done with game 1, we'll be back with game 2 in just a couple of minutes.